Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's going to be a little bit different today. No singing mini covers. I'm going to get back to that. But today I wanted to touch on something I saw on Instagram earlier. And I actually wanted to touch on how we as Black women and Black people sabotage our own image, our own corrective promotion. So I actually saw this post on an Instagram page, and it was basically, ideas for casting of the people for The Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog with Princess Tiana and everything like that. So I saw the picture, and most of the casting actually looked pretty good. Okay, now, granted, the person they chose for Tiana was Tika Sumpter, and I am not sure looks-wise. I could see it just a little bit, but, it's not just a look-alike role. It's a singing role, it's an acting role, and we know Tika Sumpter is gorgeous, and she can act, but we just want to know, can she sing? So I actually read some of the comments, and it seems like not too many people were happy with Tika Sumpter being Tiana, and in some cases I can see why. Yes, she can look the part being an unambiguous, dark-skinned, beautiful Black woman, and I think we need to see that, and that's one of the reasons I actually have been hearing so many people pick out some beautiful, dark-skinned Black actresses, especially those who can sing, to play Tiana if this were to be a live action Disney film. And as we know, Disney seems to be coming out with 1 or 2 live action videos every year, action movies every year. But in all honesty, I am actually here for a live action Princess and the Frog. I am actually here for most live action Disney movies, because with live action Disney movies, it kind of gives what Disney didn't do in the past. It gives them the chance to do things right. There are certain Disney movies that either got banned, that got, protested against, that, nowadays we look back and say this was done completely wrong. Dumbo, one of the reasons Dumbo live action didn't do as well, from what I hear, compared to the Dumbo from the 1940s was, let's just be honest, you could say it was bad and didn't stick to the original source material, but at the same time, if they hadn't included those Jim Crows, you would have been pissed. Okay, a whole bunch of Black people would have been just stalking them and, going at them. We saw what happened with Wreck-It Ralph when they decided to, lighten up, Tiana's skin tone and make her practically look biracial. And I was pissed off at it, because the original, we finally got to see an unambiguous, beautiful, dark-skinned Black woman, Black American woman, in a lead role, being the pretty little princess, being not necessarily damsel in distress, but being the princess. We got that, okay? And I'm tired of the tokenizing, really, but I'll get to that later. We finally got that. So the fact that they want to change it when we're supposed to be more progressive is, bogus to me. And it's honestly very disappointing and shameful. But they fixed it. Now, in this case, mind you, this is not set in stone, okay? This is someone who picked people that they saw that they felt like could play these characters, and for the most part, the casting looked good based on looks. Now, in these comments, from what I'm going to show you, you have people who say, that Tika Sumpter shouldn't play it and it should be somebody else. And the problem I have with these people, some of them were the same people, and I'm going to say that some of these people actually were non-Black or racially ambiguous or probably white people, saying that it should be Anika Nani Rose to play Tiana in the live action version of The Princess and the Frog. And what I find funny is, I'm not surprised that it's non-Black people or, white folks who want to, sabotage the potential corrective promotion of, dark-skinned black women or black women in general. I'm not surprised at that. However, I will say this. Some of the comments about how Anika Noni Rose should play Tiana in the live action version, it honestly is disappointing, because here you have an opportunity to showcase young, beautiful, dark-skinned, brown-skinned black women in corrective promotion roles. And I don't care what people want to say that, Tiana was a frog for half the movie, because that's another critique I saw in the comments section. Oh, Disney needs to stop doing these live actions, and they were frogs for half the movie. So what's the point? Like I said, one thing with the live actions is they kind of give Disney or, these studios the opportunity to fix things that they didn't do in the animated version, which is what I said about Aladdin. They made Jasmine the Sultan, and that was good, okay? And they gave her a voice, more of a voice. That is good. Now, with the people, especially the black women, who are saying that it should be Anika Noni Rose to play Tiana in the live action, I understand that Tiana's likeness was created with Anika Noni Rose in mind. Even Anika Noni Rose said this, okay? But this is a story of a girl who I heard is supposed to be 19. Tiana is supposed to be 19. A young, under the age of 20 black girl, dark-skinned black woman, okay? So someone young should play her if we're trying to play on realism, okay? Someone who looks the part, who looks young. And look, Anika Noni Rose can sing, and Tiana's likeness was created with her in mind. Literally, Tiana is the animated Anika Noni Rose, and we get it. She can blow like her, okay? We get it. But I'm sorry. Look, I know black don't crack, okay? I know black does not crack, but we can clearly tell that Anika Noni Rose would not pass or could not pass for someone who's 19. Now, she can, okay, but listen, she's what? I don't know if she's like in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you can give me the exact age, put it down in the comments section below. But I'm saying this. Here's the chance for us to showcase more young, dark-skinned black women in Hollywood and put them in corrective promotional roles. And you're sabotaging that by saying, let's get an older woman to play her. We have opportunity to be great and to showcase what we're saying we want to see, and yet we're rejecting that. We're definitely giving up the opportunity for that. So look, I love Anika Noni Rose. I remember her from Dreamgirls. I remember her in The Quad, and I really wish The Quad had come back for a third season. I actually like that show. I'm so mad it got canceled. We're supposed to be, encouraging corrective promotional roles where we as black women, dark-skinned black women in particular, have the chance to be the lead, the pretty little princess, and the love interest and stuff. And we're literally denying it and rejecting it by, giving up the opportunity for young, dark-skinned black women in Hollywood. We're saying, where are the young, dark-skinned black women? And we know they exist, but here we are saying that in the live action, it should be Anika Noni Rose. And look, again, no problem with Anika Noni Rose. She voiced her. She can sing. We get it. And I agree that, like I said, the likeness of Tiana was created with her in mind, okay? However, we need to see younger versions of ourselves, because we do exist. We're talking about how, wait, Hollywood couldn't get this dark-skinned black woman to play this role. We had to get someone who was biracial or someone who was mixed race or who was completely white, get them in blackface. And we saw how mad we were with Nina Simone. And, this is not a blackface situation, but we saw how mad we are when the right roles are not given to the right people to play these roles. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about a 19-year-old Tiana, but we want a 40-plus-year-old woman to play her. And we know black don't crack, but let's just be honest. I definitely don't think, even though black doesn't crack, that Tiana or that Anika Noni Rose is going to pass for a 19-year-old girl. Now, somebody mentioned Ryan Destiny, and that never came to my mind until someone mentioned it. Someone also mentioned Aja Naomi King. The first meme I saw for ideas for this movie was Aja Naomi King and that guy who played Wes on How to Get Away with Murder for Prince Naveen. Now, I really thought Aja Naomi King could play the part. She's young looking enough. Now, can she sing? Can she pull off a Louisiana accent? Maybe she can get lessons for that, because you have to realize this is also a somewhat period movie where it took place in the United States, Louisiana, New Orleans, and it took place in the 1920s. So this is a real time, real place. And I had this discussion with a group one time in college, and I said one of the reasons that, you know, The Princess and the Frog, you know, was kind of a good movie was it was more relatable. Think about it. Real time, real place, you know, United States. Other than Pocahontas, this was the only other Disney movie that took place in a real place in a real time. So it's kind of relatable to the African American girl or the Black American girl to say, hey, what if? You know what I'm saying? It's not some faraway land, you know, that's speculated to have once been real. It's a real time, real place. So it's only, I guess you can say, half fiction. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So it's somewhat relatable. Let's make it even more relatable. And someone mentioned Normani. Now, I never thought Normani, because I was just thinking Aja Naomi King, because that was the first person I saw in one of these posts. Now, I never thought of Normani until someone mentioned it. And I'm saying, okay, well, if she can act and pull off the Louisiana accent, we know she can sing. We know she can sing. So that is a good thing. That is a plus for us. All right. So I didn't think of Normani until now. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And I'm thinking for Eudora, who was voiced by Oprah in the movie, in the animated film, I think for the live action, either Eudora or Viola Davis. And someone also mentioned Angela Bassett could play her in the live action. These are just, you know, some ideas I'm throwing out there. Feel free to catch one, okay? And they're saying that, you know, Jennifer Lewis, who voiced Mama Odie, should play her in the live action. I'm saying either her or Queen Latifah, but again, throwing ideas out there. Someone said Keith David should, you know, reprise the role in the live action as Dr. Facilier, but someone said like Lakeith, I forgot his last name. He should play Dr. Facilier in the live action, which I can see based on looks. Now, people were saying Dove Cameron should play Charlotte in the live action, and I can see it a little bit. I forgot who the original one they had in this post to play Charlotte originally. I think it was Blake Lively, but I do think Dove Cameron could play, you know, I do think Dove Cameron could play Charlotte in the live action. Now, here is who they chose to play Prince Naveen in this live action. And as you can see by the picture, it was Rome Flynn, who plays RK, I believe, in The Have and the Have-Nots, and who also plays, I forgot that kid's name, Sam's son in How to Get Away with Murder. And I have to catch up on that show. It's the last season. So I can see Rome Flynn based on looks. And if they're gonna give him a singing part, I wonder if he can sing. Okay, but based on looks, he has that like jaw structure and chiseled features. Like, you could tell he's a model. Oh my god, Rome Flynn is fine as hell. And I believe he can play the Prince Naveen. He has the face, the body, and the looks for a prince. Oh my god, he is so handsome. Okay, anyway. But I believe for the most part, in terms of Tiana, the lead, the love interest, you know, the pretty little princess, the role that we want to see more of, we need to start being smart about who we play these roles. So I'm sorry. We can't be sabotaging our opportunities to see us in corrective promotional roles. Because the next thing you know, we're the same ones saying, where are these young, dark-skinned women? You couldn't find a young, dark-skinned, beautiful black girl. We exist, we're here. But yet and still, here are these same people who are saying, no, it should be the 40-year-old plus woman playing the 19-year-old girl. And this, again, this is no disrespect towards Anika Noni Rose, because she can act, she can sing, and we've seen her work. But I'm saying, okay, for the live action, no. If there is a live action, no. Now, some of the things I start seeing, the pessimism and the doubt and the problems that I see with the Black community, and how we basically just, again, sabotage, you know, our own corrective promotion in the media. We basically have this level of pessimism where we're like, oh, it's no point. Oh, there were frogs for half the movie. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that. They didn't have a black prince. And let me get into this. This pessimism is too much, okay? And the thing about him not being a black prince, he was most likely Indian. Naveen is an Indian name, okay? So he's most likely Indian. And even by the way he talked and how he looked, it's most likely that this Naveen was an Indian prince, was an Indian man. Now, granted, a lot of people said, why couldn't she get a black prince? And you can hear the hoteps, man. You can hear the hoteps. Even some black women wondering why this man couldn't be a black prince. And look, although I would love to see correctional promotion for black love, I'm here for it all. But I'm more so focused on young, dark skin, and all dark skinned black women being correctively promoted with anyone. Like Chrissy said, everyone else gets their promotion, gets validated, or gets promoted with every color of the rainbow. Why can't we? Okay, we need to be everywhere. Correctively, of course. Corrective promotion where we are the main interest, we are the love interest. We need to be everywhere, okay? And it's not about taking away from other people. It's about sometimes gaining for ourselves too. We deserve it, okay? Now, for the people who say, why couldn't he be a black prince? Oh, that's one of the main issues. They called this racist. And honestly, I feel like most of it was definitely coming from black men, or the quote unquote hoteps online. Why couldn't he be a black prince? That's so racist of a Disney. Honestly, I think that love story itself is it's an imitation of life. It's honestly art imitating life. Because let's just be real. Tiana was a very ambitious, goal-oriented, business-oriented, kind of tunnel vision focused woman. It was all about, I have to get this business started. I want to own my own restaurant. I have my own dreams and goals. I'm not waiting on a prince to save me. I'm not waiting on a man. She's more so focused on her dreams, her visions, and her goals. And I feel like she's one of the very best feminist / womanist Disney princesses that I love, because, unlike, they didn't stereotype her. This is where they got it right. Say what you want about Tiana being a frog for half of the movie. They actually got this corrective promotion of black women mostly right, okay? Because she wasn't the one so desperate for a man. She wasn't engaging in struggle love. She didn't have daddy issues. Yes, her father died, because this is Disney, okay? It seems like there's always one parent that dies, okay? Or one parent who's not in the frame at some point. There's always a single parent within the Disney franchise and Disney princess movies, always, okay? However, they didn't necessarily make her have daddy issues. She knew who her father was, you know what I'm saying? She didn't necessarily come from a dysfunctional home. And remember, this is the 1920s, okay? So remember that. So she got it mostly right. She's mostly right. Yes, she was focused so much on hard work. You get what you want with hard work. But other than that, when it comes to the person she was going to end up with, especially a high caliber rich man, some people say, oh, she got with a broke prince. No, she didn't get with a broke prince. His parents cut him off, but she actually still has royal status, okay? And she has connection to that money. And let's just be real, his parents cut him off because he was being irresponsible. I'm pretty sure if you think about it realistically, they cut him back on, okay? Because now he's being responsible, okay? So at the end of the day, he still has royal status. She still has royal status. She secured her bag and his, okay? And he came to her. He was chasing her, okay? So believe it or not, okay? This correctional promotional story, and I heard, from what I found out, they actually had to go back to the drawing board in the original film because of complaints of racial insensitivity. So say what you want about Tiana being a frog for half of the movie, they actually got it right. And in terms of him not being a black prince, I'm sorry, in the real life, from what I noticed, if she were to be as high caliber as she is and date a high caliber man, chances are she was going to end up with a non-black man. That's just the truth of the matter. This is not shaming or bashing or putting down black men. I would love to see that corrective promotion of two black people and a black love story. I would love to see it, but I honestly think this movie was kind of just art imitating life. Like, notice, if you're practicing hypergamy, like Chrissy said, and Chrysalin from the Pink Pill says, you practicing hypergamy, chances are you're not going to find that solely looking for a black man or solely looking for one person. So honestly, if you think about it, Tiana getting with a non-black man, and she's, found a hypergamous, high caliber black man. She has royal status. She's a prince. He's a prince. You know, she's a princess now. She has her own restaurant. He has his family's you know, money and riches and stuff like that. He has royal status. Chances are she was going to end up with a non-black man. So unfortunately, that's somewhat of art imitating life. And again, this is not to bash, put down, or say black man can't do it, or because look at Black Panther. She got a black king. So think about it that way. You said you didn't get a black prince with the Princess and the Frog, but we got a black king in Black Panther, okay? But yet and still, you have these people who want to nitpick and find things wrong. And this is what I have a problem with when it comes to the black community. Everyone is a damn critic. And look, I'm not saying we shouldn't critique things, because not everything is going to be 100% according to our plan. But let's be real when we talk about corrective promotion, and in some cases we get it for the most part. It may not be 100%, but we get it, you know, we get it in a great percentage. We still find ways to nitpick and find what's wrong with it. And I think one of the reasons people were nitpicking with the casting of Tiana in the live action, if there's going to be a live action, it's one, because of course we want this to be right. We want them to get it right. Okay. But two, I feel like it's because deep down, some of us can't fathom the idea of correctional promotion where the dark-skinned black woman, dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman is the lead, is the love interest, is the pretty little princess, is, you know, the person who gets the prince, who secures her bag and who secures his too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think Tiana's story is very reminiscent and equated to real life women who are all about their goals, their businesses, working hard to get what they want, you know, putting their best foot forward, all of that. They sacrifice love and fun and, you know, being young because they're so trying to get to their end goal. And they're always focusing on hard work to the point where they work themselves to an early grave. You know what I'm saying? So there is a level of relativity that exists with Tiana and with the Princess and the Frog. Say what you want about her being a frog for half of the movie. It's the same thing you guys do with things like Moonlight and Black Panther. You're nitpicking at a lot of things that are wrong, that are pretty minor compared to a lot of the other things that are right. And this is what I mean. It seems like black people are never satisfied. And I'm not saying we should 100% take everything as a win, and we should be careful and we shouldn't put our guards down, but let's just be honest. It's the same thing you did with Moonlight. You know, you're just nitpicking and calling it a homosexual movie, but there was more dynamics to it that were relevant to a lot of the stuff every day, even non-LGBTQ people see and feel and have lived through. So this is why I don't understand. It's like we always really see the bad before we see the good, because I think deep down, we can't fathom good stuff happening to us. We really don't think we are deserving of things that are good. So when they actually happen, or when the potential of that happening, or when it's a slow but sure process, when we see progress, we have to nitpick and question. Because I think part of it is out of fear, and part of it is out of doubt that this can actually happen. I'm sorry, you say that's not the case, but a lot of times your actions are saying otherwise. You'll complain about not getting it 1 minute, but then in the next minute, when you have the potential to get it, or when you are getting it in some way, shape, or form, it's wrong, it's this, it's that. So I don't care. Like, I looked at it the other way, and I think you should start looking at it too. I do hope if there's a live action that they use that opportunity to get it done right. Like I said, I want a dark-skinned, ambiguous black woman, and I want, you know, I don't want it to be her to be whitewashed, lightwashed, biracial washed. I don't want stereotyping. I want corrective promotion. I want a handsome young prince. Okay, I want a good looking prince. And for some of you people who were in comment sections, I saw this on YouTube. I think it was under Chrissy's page, but I saw it on YouTube where they were like, Tiana ended up with the broke prince. What? No, if anyone ended up with a broke prince, it was Princess Jasmine. She literally married a poor dude off the street, okay? And even though he genuinely did love her, okay? She literally married a poor guy off of the street, okay? She literally, you could say he's a broke Dusty, and he stole, okay? She married a broke guy off the street, and you could say Rapunzel, even though she didn't know she was a princess for half the movie, Rapunzel married Flynn Rider, aka Eugene, okay? She married a criminal. So if anyone married broke princes, it was and Anna, because you know she married Sven. I mean, well, Sven wasn't not Sven, Kristoff, sorry. She married Kristoff, and look, he may not be completely broke, but he wasn't of royal status, okay? Those two women, they married down. Tiana did not marry down, okay? So stop trying to nitpick because you just simply can't fathom that Hollywood can, you know, get our stories right. And of course, it's very rare that they do, but come on. Stop sabotaging your own corrective promotion, or stop sabotaging or nitpicking at, you know, things that are good because you just simply can't fathom that they can be good. Like, seriously, take the time to think. Princess Jasmine got a broke prince, okay? Rapunzel got a broke prince, okay? Tiana didn't get a broke prince. She secured her bag and his. This was corrective promotion in my eyes, okay? So yeah, that's all I had to say. Tell me what you think in the comment sections down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you care, and I will see you in the next video. And I promise to come back with more singing mini covers. Should I do full covers? Because, you know, I just don't know if I can get the beats. That's the thing. But I will definitely come back at you with more mini covers. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!